Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin. Today we're unboxing the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Yoga 3rd generation. Now what you're looking at in front of you is the 2nd generation model, and they sent this to me to review last year, and I loved it so much that I still have it around. And that's why I have it there, because it's the only laptop where I actually wrote in the title that it might be the perfect laptop. Now, it's not the perfect laptop. It's close. It's very close to it. There's a lot of cool things about it that I'll show you. Also, that one had a 1440p OLED display, which made it beautiful. Now, they didn't do an OLED display this year. They went with Dolby Vision instead. Unfortunately, this one that I'm going to unbox is the 1080p model, so we won't have that either. But it's still got a lot of great features, and we're going to open this up. Now, the first thing that I noticed is that it actually comes in a little fancy box here. That's new. Typically, now Think is Lenovo's business brand. So these are our business laptops, and business laptops don't usually come in this kind of fancy box that you see here. And that's because when businesses distribute these machines, they don't, the people that use these PCs never actually see these boxes. Typically the boxes get stacked on a shelf in an IT room somewhere, and so I'm a little surprised that Lenovo went through the effort to make this, but it's a very nice box, I have to say. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna. Ooh, this is a very nice. It reminds me of actually the one that the 25th anniversary ThinkPad came in. Here, welcome. Lenovo designs about creating a powerful and synergistic relationship between form and function. It balances sophisticated aesthetics, thoughtfully created user experiences, and renowned engineering in order to provide our customers with superior products. Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, I just reviewed the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, which is the 6th generation model, but came out at the same time as this, and it did not come in this kind of packaging. So this is pretty cool. And here we have it. We have the 3rd generation X1 Yoga. We can see there's new X1 branding over here that replaces the old, that replaces the Lenovo logo, which we can see on the 2nd generation model is right here. And also the ThinkPad logo is a little different. We can kind of put them together. Rather than that grayish silver, we now have a more of a chrome look. Okay. And before we get into the device, ooh, this is black instead of that grayish silver. But anyway, before we get into the device, let's see what else is in the box. Okay, this just feels like a little bit of paperwork here. All right. Typical stuff that we're not even going to look at, which would just bore you anyway. And over here, this is our charging setup. And we've got a brick and connects via USB Type-C, which is no surprise, and the power cable. That's all we've got in the box. All right, so let's put this away. So as was noted, there were a couple design changes. We can see that it's black on the back, where these were that grayish silver on the hinge. And that's about all that's changed. Over here, there's probably going to be a SIM slot and a micro SD slot. That SIM slot won't do anything unless you buy the cellular model, but it is there. So if we open this up, now we can see that the keyboard, it's called the Wave keyboard. Okay, and what happens with this, you can see that it's a convertible that it just becomes flush with the device, which is really cool. It's one of those little annoyances that you find on other devices, where any convertible you can fold the display back and use it as a tablet, but those keys, it's like a minor annoyance. They just get in the way, and that doesn't happen on this device, which is pretty cool. Although it always disappoints me that they don't do this on their consumer models. So we can boot this up right here, and a couple things that have changed. We can see that there's a privacy guard in the camera, right? So you can just flip this switch. Now you can see through the camera. And if we load up the camera app right here, we can see this is on, right? And we can turn it off like that, and it's blocked. And that's pretty cool. So now you don't have to go and put a piece of tape over it. And I like it because I do virtual press briefings, so I don't want to accidentally turn on my screen while that's going on. So now I can just flip that up. So this feature is becoming very popular. We're seeing it from companies like HP and Huawei, and I think Dell's doing it too. Um, so that's pretty cool, right? Your camera is just blocked, and minor refinements on the new X1 Yoga. Another thing that I want to point out about the X1 Yoga that I absolutely love is how many ports there are. So let's just take a look at this. Over here, we have our power button, 3.5 millimeter audio input output jack, USB 3.0 Type A, and HDMI over here. And then over here, we have two Thunderbolt 3 ports, which are obviously the Type C ports, and then another USB 3.0 Type A port. So that's the same as the Carbon had. The only issue is on the second generation model, we can see that there was two USB 3.0 Type A ports on this side, and then one over here. So I'm not sure why they removed one, because that was one thing that I really appreciated about it, was that there's no shortage of ports, and it's really nice to use a device where you don't have to worry about that, because a lot of consumer laptops now and convertibles have maybe one Type A port, and then a pair of Type C Thunderbolt 3 ports. And if that, because sometimes, I mean, like the HP Spectre 13, that's got just Type C. So a lot of devices are not even shipping with Type A ports. So it's cool to have extras. But I am a little disappointed that they cut it down by one. So what we also have, we have a pen that's built into the device, which if I can find it down here, it's right here. So pull it out. It's a little smaller than other pens, obviously. It does have a battery in it that charges through these two pens, so it's charging while it's in the device, and if you keep it stored in there, you're not going to have a problem. But if the battery does run out, or if those pens don't connect properly, what's cool is that you could charge it for like 15 seconds and you're good to go. What's also cool about that is that you don't have to worry about having it with you, which is a problem with a lot of these pens. So, for example, HP with the Spectre X360, they sell a pen, and there's no way, you kind of just have to carry it around with you. Lenovo with the Yoga 920, it comes with a clip that plugs into the USB Type A port, and so the pen plugs into that clip. The only problem with that is that now it's taking up a USB Type A port. The Surface Book and the Surface Pro, those attach magnetically, but they tend to fall off in the bag. Microsoft used to use a pen loop, but you had to attach that to the product. So I'm a big fan of the way this works, except the only issue is, of course, that the pen is a little bit smaller. But I still like it. And, of course, you can get a third-party pen as well. We can see that the X1 Yoga still has a fingerprint reader for Windows Hello. This is something, ThinkPads have used fingerprint readers since before Windows Hello was even a thing. Windows 7 and 8.1 ThinkPads were shipping with fingerprint readers. And these new models, or not this particular model, but the new generation, it does come with Windows Hello. Unfortunately, you have to make a choice. You can either get that Think Shutter Privacy Guard, or you can get an IR camera for Windows Hello. This is disappointing because I think facial recognition is one of the best features that you can get on a laptop, and it's just natural, right? You open up your laptop, you're sitting in front of it, it sees you, it logs you in. So it disappoints me that you can't have both, because I think they're both great features, and hopefully that gets worked out by the next generation. But the other main improvement that you're going to see is 8th generation core processors. So all of the ThinkPads that Lenovo announced this year, which include the X1 Carbon, the X1 Yoga, and the X1 Tablet, those were announced at CES, and then a week ahead of time, they announced the a range of ThinkPads, the T series, the X series, a bunch of ThinkPads. The main features all 8th generation processors. So we can see Core i5-8250U with 8 gigs of RAM. So what that means is that it's quad core now. I've heard different figures of how much that increases the performance, because previously the U series has all been dual core, and I would say about 30% increase in performance. Well, I've heard some companies claim as much as like 45%. But really, it depends on your workload. So if you're the type that's using virtual machines, more cores definitely makes a difference. And also, since this is a ThinkPad, it should be coming with Windows 10 Pro rather than Home. So you do get, yeah, this comes with Pro. So it does come with Hyper-V as well. So that's a built-in solution for virtualization, and the extra cores will definitely be a benefit to you if you use those features. Another new feature is far-field voice microphones. Well, another new feature is actually Amazon Alexa. So we do have Cortana still. This hasn't gone anywhere, but Alexa will be here, although it's not here yet. It will be here as a software update. So you should be able to call to the device from across the room and say, "Hey Cortana," or you can say Alexa, and it will respond with the appropriate voice assistant, which is pretty cool. It's not exactly cool for Microsoft because 4 OEMs, I think it was Acer, Asus, HP, and Lenovo, all announced that they were going to start releasing these PCs with Alexa built into them, and it really just shows that Cortana isn't compelling enough to stand on its own. But that's besides the point. The point is, this does have far-field voice microphones, so you should be able to talk to it from across the room like you would to an Amazon Echo or a Harman Kardon Invoke or a Google Assistant and so on. And what is cool is that you have your choice in Assistant. Or you will. Again, Alexa will be here with a software update at some point. It's just not here yet. The reviewer's guide that they sent me said it's coming in the near future. Another thing that they pointed out though is there's Dolby Audio Premium, which that's exciting to me because one thing I was not thrilled about on the other Yoga or the last generation was the audio quality from the speakers. So I'm not going to try it out right now, but that's something we'll get towards in the review because I want to spend some time with that and really, I really want to get a feel for these speakers because, like I said, the second generation X1 Yoga was nearly the perfect laptop. Like little minor complaints was that the speaker didn't get that loud. It had kind of a tinny quality, which we're seeing more and more laptops with Dolby Atmos and stuff like that, where the sound is really great. So I was a little disappointed for poor quality audio, and also the lack of facial recognition. So hopefully the audio sounds great, and I mean, as it stands right now, the only issue that I would have with this is that you have to make that choice between the facial recognition and the privacy guard in the camera. And again, I hope they solve that in the next generation. But that's it for now. I'm going to have a review on this in a few weeks, so stay tuned for that. And there's a whole bunch of other ThinkPads that I'm reviewing right now as well. I just published the review for the X1 Carbon, and I also have the T480, the T480S, and the X280 coming. So lots of cool stuff. So yeah, that's it. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.